Welcome to Hokey Religion, the Star Wars podcast. This is Michael.
And I regret everything.
Hokey religions and ancient weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side.
Let's talk about Star Wars! Hello! I'm at the same pitch for the rest of the episode!
Constant yelling.
Look at the spikes
Great.
on the audio wave!
We even have a compressor and you're blowing it out.
All the red dots.
You do still blow it out. So I regret letting you do the intro, but that's now canon?
It's too late.
It's podcast canon. You did an intro once.
It's too late. It's all done.
It's all done. It can't be erased.
Nope.
There's no rewinding here.
Went straight to the internet.
Just live streaming a podcast.
Today we actually are live streaming a podcast, so hello to everybody who's not watching this right now.
Yes, we're recording with the Periscope. In the future, we hope to maybe get YouTube streaming up and running. I forgot to do that beforehand, so it wasn't ready.
Or Twitch, or...
I feel like Twitch is the wrong crowd.
We could always record it on VHS and just mail it out to people.
We could. Send us your addresses. We will mail you the VHS of the live stream of the podcast.
Yep. Subscribe to our newsletter. Mail those out quarterly.
Our e-mag. Our zine.
Get up on that mic.
Subscribe to our zine.
Get up on that mic.
I'm always on the mic, but
Okay.
it's never loud enough.
Oh.
I'm so much quieter.
I'm
You're
just
just always yelling, and I'm not loud enough.
I was
ever.
yelling.
You
remember?
You were? Or you
Remember that
are?
time when I was yelling? When I did the intro?
Every time?
Remember?
Every time since I met you?
Oh. I don't yell. Not usually.
Yeah. Anyways, Star Wars stuff about the podcast. There's not been a lot of stuff going on with Star Wars since last recording.
And somehow Tyler came up with 2 pages of notes.
There
I don't know
2
how.
pages of notes with about 3 sentences worth of me talking about them. But I made sure I had thorough notes so I would remember what I wanted to say about them. So, I mean, the only thing that's really going on right now is E3. As of recording this, E3 is happening.
That still goes on.
E3 still happens. But EA this year actually
Where is it this year?
Isn't it always in LA?
Is it?
I think it's always in
I
LA.
don't know. I've never followed E3.
I think it's always in LA.
Oh. It's not like PAX. It doesn't...
No, I think it's the same place that Comic-Con is.
It's not like the circus.
Or is it? Yeah, is it in... No, San Diego's Comic-Con. Is it in San Diego or LA? I think LA. Anyways.
I don't know.
Since...
I just said I don't know anything about
shut
it.
up.
Why are you talking?
So, the main publisher that has any work with Star Wars is EA, and they actually had their own separate conference away from E3 this year. They held their own conference like separate from everyone else that anyone could come to. It wasn't just for press, because a lot of people like Microsoft and Sony, they just have those press conferences at E3 that's only for press. EA did one that was for anyone,
Interesting.
including press.
Did they do demos afterwards? Do you know?
I was here.
Were you? But did they?
I didn't.
But did they do demos?
I don't know.
But
Yes.
when you were there, did
Yes.
you see any demos?
I played all of the demos, and then
okay.
I walked right back here.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Yeah, just checking.
All right. So they have a few Star Wars projects that are in process. Of course, they talked about Battlefront, which is
Yes.
never
The Best
going to
Ben
end.
DLC is coming up soon.
I think they confirmed 3 or 4 more DLC for it.
Well, I know there's Bespin coming up. There's going to be the Death Star in the fall, which is going to be amazing.
Yeah.
And then an unannounced one in the spring of next year.
Yeah, I want to say they said there's 3 more.
Really?
Like 3 more
Oh, wow.
unannounced ones or something like that.
Sweet.
So apparently they're going to be working on it for a while.
They're going to milk that.
Well, yeah.
Well,
they've
they
already
are coming out
announced-
with Battlefront 2
They already
next
announced
year.
the second one.
Well, is that next year or 2018? I can't remember
Probably
now.
18.
But supposedly there's going to be a bunch of Force Awakens stuff in there.
Yeah.
Maybe
Supposed
even Episode 8 stuff? No, they wouldn't do that.
No,
that
probably
soon.
not. Like just the Lego game stuff is finally coming out now.
Oh,
I think there's a demo up on Steam now of the Nema Outpost level. of
that's
the
right.
Lego
They
game.
demoed that at E3. I
Yeah.
remember reading about that.
As far as Battlefront goes, there's actually I think this was during the Sony press conference, not at the EA one. But Battlefront on PS4 is going to have a special PlayStation VR level that is an X-Wing TIE fighter battle in space.
Yes, I saw that. It
With
looks
VR.
so cool. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that was going to be pretty sweet. I I don't know. I can't do VR yet. I've tried.
Have you ever done it?
Once.
I've never.
It's. I don't know if I could fly if you play the game and you fly X-wings, like they're so fast and you can't pay attention to anything that's going on. If I could also look around while flying the X-wing, I feel like I would barf everywhere.
What do you mean?
Maybe not.
What?
Well, it's VR, so you can actually like look.
You're complaining that
look around.
you can't see outside of the virtual reality?
No,
isn't that the point?
No, like looking around while you're also flying an X-wing.
Yeah, what about it?
I don't think I could do that.
That's what every pilot has to do.
I'm not a pilot.
You're not?
I should not have taken you on that flight yesterday.
A flight to heaven.
Anyways,
anyway.
PlayStation VR for Battlefront. I mean, it looks really sweet. I'm already bad at flying the X-Wings and the TIE Fighters in Battlefront, so I don't think VR is going to help me any much more than just flying it.
Or with your talking.
Words. No, I don't. Yeah. I suck.
I think it'll be fun.
It might be fun, but I suck at flying those already, so I doubt I would do any better in VR. Not that I will ever have the chance, because I don't have the money to spend.
Is this with Sony's
VR.
New VR headset?
Yeah, the PlayStation VR.
Interesting. I'd like to try it. I don't think I would ever buy one of those.
Yeah.
It just seems like, I don't know, it seems like a waste of money.
I mean, if you...
Like Kinect. I never liked Kinect with Xbox.
was okay. I can... Like, see, if you're just playing on console and you buy a PlayStation VR, you can just use the VR with your console.
Sure,
but I feel like
right.
there's so much content for VR on PC. So like buying a HTC Vive or an Oculus.
Or an Oculus, yeah.
It makes more sense for that. But paying all that money just to get one just for one console when the console,
locked into one platform like that.
Yeah, where the console will also eventually die. I mean, I don't know. At least on the PC, you can continue using it, even though better equipment will come out. You can continue using it for the games and the things that come out on PC.
I would imagine so, yeah.
I don't know. Seems like a lot of money to dump for that, and I haven't seen if they've announced any other VR stuff for PlayStation, so I don't know how worthwhile it is to have a headset just for one mission.
Probably not at this
in
point.
Battlefront.
That's like buying a 4K TV like a year ago. Like, yeah, you could for future stuff, but there wasn't really anything out then.
Even now, it's still...
Yeah, probably. They're probably still too expensive now to buy them. But yeah, you'll probably get future content, but
yeah,
there's not much
but
out
by
now.
then, the TVs are going to go down in price, and the same price you just paid for one is going to be the price for a nicer one by the time there's actually content to watch on it.
Same thing with VR. Like,
yeah,
maybe there'll be better stuff out in the future, but there's going to be better hardware in the future too. So just don't do it right now.
Yeah. Another game they teased.
That's our opinion on
VR.
Hot Topics. It's a new segment called Hot Topics with Michael and Tyler. Hey everybody, Hot Topics with Michael and Tyler. Today we're talking about virtual reality.
These newfangled contraptions are no good.
You should stay away from them. They're a waste of money. That's been Hot Topics with Michael and Tyler. That's a good segment. We should do that every episode.
We'll see. So the other game they talked about, which has been announced but is still unnamed, there was really just a 6-second teaser of it. It was a dude in like a cool looking Star Warsy outfit on a desert planet that could be any other desert planet, swaggering out of a doorway, and then some TIE fighters flew over, and that was the 6 seconds. But it
reminded me of... Well, yeah, go ahead.
It's by Visceral Studios, which is known for the Dead Space games. And it's also written by Amy Hennig, who is the writer known for Jak and Daxter and the Uncharted series. So most likely it will be a third-person action-adventure game.
That sounds really cool.
Yes.
Almost like, what was that? Was that 33? Remember that demo?
Oh, the Star Wars...
for the... Yeah, crap. What was that game called?
It was the cancel one once Disney bought them.
It was 33, right?
It was 2 numbers, but I don't think it was 33.
It wasn't 33?
I don't think so. Because, it was like on Coruscant. It was like in the lower levels. It was the level of whatever of Coruscant that it took place on.
There was that, but remember that it was a couple of years ago. There was a demo of a Star Wars game that was in like
running across
alpha.
a ship like while it was crashing. Yeah.
That was that game? Okay. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of.
And
I'll find the name real quick.
I can't remember who was working on that when it was getting made. If it was just Lucas.
1313.
1313.
I knew there were threes in there.
There's two numbers, but it wasn't those two numbers.
That's it. Technically 4 numbers, but
so I mean the game. I mean obviously it's just it was an early teaser clip. And who knows what it'll look like when it eventually comes out, but it looked really good. But the Jak and Daxter games and the Uncharted games are both very well written. So
very good games.
It's nice to know that there's a very good writer behind the new game.
That's cool.
And if it's an action adventure game, which are some of my favorites, that'll be awesome. I love the Uncharted series.
Yeah.
And he didn't. I mean, I don't know. There's no confirmation of what that character is, if he's a Jedi or not a Jedi, or if there will even be any lightsaber stuff in it.
He didn't look like one.
It could just be like that 1313, where it has nothing to do with Jedi or the Force. It's just a thing in the Star Wars universe, and it's an action adventure. Awesome.
That would be really sweet.
Yeah.
That the quick demo that they showed, it reminded me of remember the Tatooine level on Jedi Academy, where you go and you meet up with Chewie and the Falcon is there.
Nope.
And stuff happens, and you shoot a lot.
No, I don't remember that.
And there's bad guys.
Oh, those guys.
Anyway,
another game they were talking about, which there's still no the Amy Hennig Visceral Games one is slated to come out in 2018, so not anytime really that soon. But another game, of course, still in progress is from the makers of. Oh, what is that name of those people? We started to record the podcast and we lose all our words. We can't talk about names and things.
Come on, give me some more clues here.
Titanfall, the maker of Titanfall is making a Star Wars game, but there was really no more information about that other than it's like where it is in the release slate.
Just hype. Yeah, the old hype train.
It's still announced. We're not on announcing it.
The old hype train.
Speaking about announcing games, and this has nothing to do with Star Wars, have you followed E3 very well?
Very well or at all?
Yeah,
because neither is true.
Okay. So just because I want to talk about this, they placed it in the Sony press conference. They are doing an HD remake of all 3 Crash Bandicoot games.
Really?
Yeah,
that's awesome. 4. Wow.
Yeah, they're completely doing a HD remake.
Should probably get up on this mic.
2021. I have no idea. I didn't pay attention to the
21?
Yes.
Is that what you said?
I think I said 2021.
110 years from now.
I was just reading and saw that was the thing. I don't own a PlayStation 4, so I was like, that's cool.
I do.
I'll watch someone online look at it.
I own a PlayStation 4.
But do you do anything with it?
I play Battlefront on it all the time. This weekend was triple credits weekend. I was on there earning credits like a mother.
Go back in time and get your credits, guys.
Yep. Because this is nowhere near that time.
Yeah, thanks for that.
This weekend is last
riveting
weekend,
announcement.
According to when you're hearing this.
This weekend could be next month. You don't know.
It could be any time.
It could.
What if this weekend?
It could technically only be the future.
But what if this weekend is in the future? As you're hearing this, time traveler.
We sent a podcast back in time.
We have this opportunity to. What can we say?
Nope, we're just going to use it just for the podcast, just for Star Wars.
Oh no,
nothing else.
Oh,
don't tell them about the things.
What a waste.
That's all that really came out of E3 for Star Wars. Just those 2 games that are over the Battlefront level, and the other games that are happening. Of course, they still have their online, whatever, Star Wars, the online thing with the guys. And the game that no one plays, the Star Wars online game, not Knights of the Old Republic, or is it just called Old Republic?
Is it Galaxies?
No, I think it's just called Star Wars Old Republic.
Republic
Online?
Knights of the Old Republic? I don't know.
No, the current online game. I think it might be Republic Online. I don't care because I played it once and it was not good at all.
Oh, I know the one
they
you're
talked about more expansions coming out for that.
I played a demo of that a long time ago.
Yeah, they talked about some expansions coming for that, but I think 2 people play it still. So
okay.
No one cared.
As many people are watching the live stream right now.
No one. Low battery.
Should probably go turn that off.
Our live stream has low battery.
Keep talking while
we have low battery.
While I do something on my phone.
Vamping. So I can talk about my notes now that Michael's not here to interrupt me. Coming up on the notes as well.
I'm coming back soon.
When you get back from the cave, Be careful. It's
Okay,
the first step is really wet. All right, so talking about John Williams is what I wanted to talk about next. Not talking about.
Oh,
him.
I'm back now.
Oh no, he's back. So John Williams, it was announced a while back, but he's getting a Life Achievement Award, which is totally due one at this point.
Oh man, I was gonna do a cool segue into these notes.
Do you want to go back?
Like, hey Tyler, games have music, right? People write that music, and guess who writes Star Wars music? This guy. That's a good one.
Sure.
So anyway,
Thank
you're already
you.
done talking about John Williams now.
Yeah, he's getting a Lifetime Achievement Award, which is awesome. Because he's been, let's see, it's this blah, words in my mouth. It's the first time that the in the award's 44-year history that the honor is being given to a composer.
Oh wow.
Which is pretty sweet. So I mean, obviously he's written.
This is just a big ploy to keep him writing Star Wars music.
Who knows?
Because he doesn't want to do it anymore.
He's written music for like almost every amazing good film that like you'll think of a movie and be like, oh, that music was great. Oh wait, it was John Williams. Of course it was. And he's any Spielberg movie he pretty much does automatically anyways.
Yeah.
Which he's doing the upcoming Spielberg movie, Ready Player One, which if you've not read that book, I'm going to say that on here. Ready Player One is a great book.
I haven't read it.
You should read it.
All right.
It's about this like online VR world. So talking about VR again.
Hey, connect the dots.
Except for they have like full like haptic feedback suits.
Ooh.
They play when they wear it. So
Full
it's
haptic feedback.
full.
Oh.
So it's like real life. So people just escape to this game world.
Wait, what? What was that?
Huh?
That's like real life?
It's like real life.
You were...
Haptic feedback.
Haptic
No,
feedback
just
suit.
having haptic feedback. No, the game is like it's so immersive. It's like the real world
Oh.
when you're in it.
I see.
You forget to eat and live, whatever.
Oh.
Just like Koreans when they play video games.
Oh,
Koreans.
okay.
You know, the people
I don't know
that
anything about that.
Yeah. So, anyways, so they go into this game world, and there's like this big scavenger hunt through this game, and whoever wins the scavenger hunt gets like to be the owner of the company that owns this game because the main owner died, and he like programmed into it this scavenger hunt, or
Okay,
whatever.
yeah.
So this kid is trying to do
So
it.
it's like Willy Wonka, but Willy Wonka's dead?
Kind of, and it's just full of 80s references, and a lot of it is a little heavy-handed, but it's really fun. It's a really fun book.
Oh, all right.
I wouldn't say it's amazingly written,
It came out a
but
while
it's
ago,
really
didn't
fun. It's been out for a long while.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's really good. Anyway, so he's doing the music for Ready Player One, but what's happened again is I know previously we talked about the quote of John Williams talking about how he wasn't sure if he was doing the next Star Wars, and you know I don't want to do it. Just what I think what he said was like, I don't really want to do it, but I don't want anyone else doing it, kind of thing.
Oh, yeah.
But that was all kind of just people quoting him from talking about it at a concert. Mm-hmm. This was actually his quote from Variety magazine this time. So he said, "If I can do it, I certainly will. I told Kathleen Kennedy I'm happy to do it, but the real reason is I didn't want anybody else writing music for Daisy Ridley." So he officially confirmed that thing of him saying that he really just doesn't want anyone else to write music for her because he likes the music that he's writing for her.
Right.
But at least it's kind of an official statement in a magazine that someone questioned him and he answered with this, and it's not just people that were at a concert saying,
Just
I
conjecture.
think he said something one time. I'm
Does
pretty
John
sure
Williams
he was
get up
thinking
and-
about this.
Does he get up and like do like bits in between the songs when he does stuff live? He's just talk
Yeah, he just wanders the stage.
on stage banter. It's like a Kanye
What's
concert.
the deal with... Yeah, that's John
This
Williams.
stick I'm holding.
And as he
What
waves
does
around,
it
the music's
do?
like going all over the place. Boom, 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 boom.
What is he doing with the stick?
Waving it around, and just the people, the musicians start just playing whatever they think he's telling them they're supposed to be doing. John, this is not the time.
Guys,
John, we're in the middle
stop
of a
it!
concert.
Bam, bam, move it.
Yeah. So yeah, hopefully he can do it.
I think I'm gonna end the live stream because my phone's gonna die.
Sure. I thought that's what you were doing already when you went to the cave before.
No, I was just closing the little thing that said your phone's gonna die.
Oh, you were just ignoring the death threat.
All right, I'm gonna go back to the cave now.
All right, good luck. Don't forget your hard hat.
Okay, got it.
All right, you should wear the gloves. Put on the gloves and the harness. All right, I'm lowering you down. Are you there, Michael?
There.
Okay. All right. So
All right, I've got the thing.
pull the lever.
Okay, which one?
The left one.
Okay.
Which way are you facing? Wait.
I'm facing the large boulder. Hold on.
The one with 3 dots?
There.
Oh no! No, I dropped him! Well, Michael's gone, so we're just going to go on without him. He died going down into the streaming cave to turn off the streaming. So continuing to talk about John Williams, he was actually confirmed that he is doing the music for the next Indiana Jones film. Which is also awesome, because who else is going to write Indiana Jones music but him? No one else is allowed to. I refuse to allow them. Michael's going to let me do the rest of the podcast by myself, and here we go. I'm sure he's going to want to jump in once we get to the rumors. I'm not dead.
I'm coming back.
Well, hurry up. You didn't have to walk over the table.
I'm back now.
Thanks. So, I don't know if you saw that, but John Williams is confirmed doing the music for the next Indiana Jones as well.
I was in the cave.
I know. But did you know that?
I heard you yelling.
Well, that's because I dropped you.
Oh. Why'd you do that?
You yanked.
Why you do that?
I said 2 yanks, I'll drop you.
Oh. I wasn't listening. As usual.
2 yanks? Like this? And then I let go. That's what happens.
We'll have to go back in the cave eventually.
One day.
I left my shoes in there.
Not today. The shoes are the caves now. So yes, John Williams, that's all awesome, and hopefully he does the next Star Wars. We'll continue to talk about it until he actually confirms that he's doing it, because I refuse to believe that anyone else can.
I think other people can. Well, we're about to see what's his face with Rogue One. Some original Star Wars score that isn't John Williams. I think it'll be fine.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I guess. We'll see.
You think he'll stick around for episode 9?
Can he? Like physically, can he?
I don't know.
Can he make it that long?
Can he?
I hope so. It would be nice for him to finish out all 9 movies.
Yeah.
That would be really sad if he doesn't. If he does all 8 and then he doesn't make it for the very final one, that would be really, really crappy.
You just bring John Williams' ghost back, right, to conduct some stuff.
Just use a hologram.
Man, what if he dies?
Just use a hologram to conduct, even though it has nothing to do with who wrote the music.
What if he dies before this episode comes out?
Maybe they should just go ahead and tell him what's happening and just like start have him write the music now, just so anyone can conduct it at that point. At least he wrote it.
All right, we're thinking generally there's going to be something surprising, so give us some surprising music.
All right, good.
Perfect.
Yeah, please don't do that. All right, so moving on from John Williams and Michael's cave spelunking and him dropping things constantly in the room and on the table. Stop playing with stuff. We're recording a professional show.
I gotta play with something.
I don't put myself out there for you to embarrass me like this.
Oh, you're putting yourself out there, huh?
Didn't you feel it?
What's that thing I dropped?
I don't know. This is not the time for you to worry about the things you're dropping.
Oh, it's all the way over there.
Don't go under there. You don't know what I've done under there.
I don't. Let's keep it that way.
You can find out later.
Episode 8 rumors.
All right. So, episode 8. This comes from a user on IMDb forums called Mr. Ghostfast lives. I think it might have been Ghostface. I don't know about
so
fast.
Messed up there.
I think it was Ghostface.
Mr. Ghostfast.
It's a forum. What do you expect with names? So apparently, and this was coming from Making Star Wars. Apparently, this user posted some things on the IMDb forums before The Force Awakens came out that turned out to be correct, including locations and sets and things like that. So they have some, quote, credibility to them.
Right.
Either they had really good guesses or they were actually knew something.
Right.
So they wrote recently that, and this is very interesting. The first paragraph is kind of whatever, but the second paragraph is the interesting part. This user says, first of all, Luke is not Rey's father. If you really can't let go of this, watch episode 7 again and pay attention. He is not revealed to be her father in episode 8, nor will he be in episode 9.
That makes sense.
I don't get the part of watch episode 7 again and pay attention. Is that meaning pay attention as you will notice who the father actually is?
No, I think it's...
Just pay attention. It's not her father. There's no, maybe it's nobody.
I think there are several hints dropped, and, I think we've talked about this before, how there are references to her family and just how the
Yeah.
timeline works out that it just can't be Luke,
Yeah.
you know?
And then they said he is not revealed to be her father in episode 8, nor will he be in episode 9. I'm assuming nor will he be revealed to be her father in 9, or he will not be in 9.
So he's not going to marry her mother. Is that what we're...
Maybe. I don't know what that means either. So there's a lot of speculation with that. But then they go on to say the second and more interesting point that they're trying to make is that Leia uses the Force in episode 8. It's unfortunately true they've minimized her screen time by writing her out after an attack early on, but the really cool thing about the sequence is that Leia survives only because she uses the Force. That's all the detail you're getting, but it's a fact.
Interesting.
Says this user that supposedly had information correct about episode 7 before it came out, and any information was released about the things that they revealed before episode 7.
So that's a couple things then. So, first of all, her Force use, that's awesome, because then
Apparently it's more than just feelings.
that ties it to, back to Return of the Jedi. It ties it to Bloodline with references to her remembering Luke talking to her about the Force and getting feelings and stuff like that.
Yeah, so I
And
wonder...
then actually bringing it into the movie, that's pretty sweet.
Yeah, it is cool. And I mean, she always has those feelings, like when Han died and she was like, she was all sad because she felt him die. And she, felt in Return of the Jedi what was happening with people dying. But her actually like using the Force and doing something like physical and not just having the power of sad Force is kind of cool.
Yeah.
But
And then the second thing, an attack early on.
yeah, apparently, according to this person, I haven't heard anything about this previously, that unfortunately true, they've minimized her screen time by writing her out after an attack early on.
That's interesting.
I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that before this user saying that, so I don't know. I mean, all this is taken with a grain of salt, but I don't understand they've minimized her screen time. Leia is a great character. I don't think she serves any more true purpose for the story of the film. I mean, the story's about Kylo and Rey,
the new
and Luke,
generation,
and the
right?
new generation,
Right.
And you've got Poe and you've got Finn, and obviously she's important because she's Kylo's mother, Ben's mother. But as far as her involvement and what she can actually do to move the story forward, I don't see her having any place in that. I mean, she doesn't have a big role. I wouldn't think. I didn't expect her to.
Right.
So I don't get the thing about her being written out. I don't think that was purposely like done. Like, oh, we got to write her out. We don't want her in this one. No, Leia. All men.
Well, if you think
Except
about
for
it,
Rey. Just Rey. Men and Rey.
if you think about it, Han's gone. Luke is going to be with Rey most of the time.
Yeah.
So Leia by herself. I mean, is that really?
Yeah.
I mean, she's a general, and is a big deal in the Resistance. But
We'll see her. As
I imagine the
is doing
Resistance
stuff.
I imagine the Resistance is going to get a lot of kickback because of the.
I
What?
wonder if the attack is that funeral-looking area where that attack was, and then the Force use is when they're being attacked, and she throws somebody or does something cool during that attack at Han's funeral that we think is Han's funeral.
It could be there, but the attack would make sense there.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
I don't know about that.
The attack with her involvement would make sense.
I don't know
there.
about that shot of the guy.
Probably
flying
not
back.
the guy being thrown. That could have been an explosion that just wasn't
Right, it could be anything.
realized yet. But
maybe, yeah.
it just popped into my head where an attack could actually fit into what we know so far.
Right. But really, what do we know?
If that is Han's funeral,
I mean, we
that
know
would be the only place that like anywhere else that she would have been other than at the base being
Right.
general.
But what do we know at this point? I mean, we know the
People
only
were
things we know.
wearing opera-looking clothing in a city,
Well,
and there was an attack.
I'm talking
and a
about
speeder chase.
locations. Really, all we know is Acto and this place that could be Corellia.
Yes,
That's it, right? Maybe Dakar.
Maybe,
But I
yeah.
doubt the Resistance base is going to stay
yeah,
there.
that's about it. Those two places.
Because Starkiller base is gone, so
Yeah.
those guys are going to go off somewhere else. So I don't know. Could be there. Could be like in the third act of the movie where they're in another battle. I don't know. Who knows?
I mean, it said early on, so I'm assuming that would be somewhat early on. If that is Han's funeral, they're not going to wait until like Act 2
Yeah,
or 3
that's true.
to have a memorial for Han.
That's true.
Like, oh yeah, by the way,
Han died.
yeah.
I don't know if the whole first act is Luke and Rey. I mean, how soon do you think
Yeah,
that
true.
Knights of Ren attack is going to happen? That's got to be pretty soon, right?
I know we talked about this. If like we were talking about if the movie picked up right where it left off with her handing over the lightsaber.
Yeah.
I mean, it could, and then it could
probably going to.
It probably is going to. So it picks up there. They do their whole introduction, like, we're Jedis, whatever. And then obviously it's going to go into them probably doing training stuff and whatever. That attack's probably not gonna. The attack from Kylo is probably not going to happen right away. They have to have some time together to build up a friendship. I don't know, to build up the training to do something before that attack. I can see it opening on that, but then very early in the film, if that is Han's funeral, I feel that needs to be very early on for it to fit into the
I'm sure
scheme of things. So I can see it opening on them and doing a little bit of their story, but then doing like a soft fade or a soft cut to
who knows
this funeral thing happening.
I wonder if the movie's going to open with Han's
body open casket
being shot in a torpedo out in space. Yes, Star Trek reference. Oh, yes, I got it in.
Great. I'm assuming they didn't find his body before the planet exploded.
High five! High five! High five! High five! High five! Anyway.
Why are you high-fiving? I'm assuming they didn't recover his body before Starkiller went into nothingness.
Well, his body fell down a giant hole.
Yeah. So
what if it opens? I was gonna say, what if the movie opens with Hux and Kylo getting away, heading towards Snoke?
Like it just picks up from like what was happening.
Yeah,
and it just shows like a little bit of what everyone's like. This is what happened with him, and this is what happened with them, and this is what happened with them, and then we're back on Rey handing the lightsaber over, and we go.
I'm really just trying to figure out how could they shoehorn in a space shot.
Yeah, I mean we've talked about that before because every movie starts in space with a ship flying over.
I'm trying to think. That's true,
I think
right?
every single film starts in space with a ship flying over.
Phantom Menace does. Attack of the Clones does. Revenge of the Sith. I can't remember how Revenge of the Sith opens. I'm trying to remember now. I've seen that movie a bunch of times.
A New Hope does.
I know that. Empire does with the probe droid.
Jedi.
They're on Tatooine. Does it open? Crap, does it open?
That's a great question. It fades.
No, it's R2 and C-3PO, isn't it?
But does it start in space and like fade to like point down towards the planet and then go into what they're doing?
I don't think so.
It doesn't start in space? Oh.
Why can't I remember this?
I cannot remember the opening sequence of Return of the Jedi. That's sad.
And I can't remember Revenge of the Sith either.
Yeah, I totally...
The third in each set. But obviously Force Awakens does.
Force Awakens does. So, yeah. They at least
opens almost exactly like
Empire.
Empire.
A space shot. I don't know if a ship has to fly over, but it needs to be a space shot.
So, we could safely say a majority of them
do. I would think it would be odd for a Star Wars movie to... Because you've got the scroll. It happens in space, and then it then pans towards whatever's happening. It doesn't just instantly cut to something that's happening. So I'm assuming it would be in space.
Yeah, there's always kind of a slow introduction.
With the stars, and then it pans to something, and then it does Lucas did those old cheesy wipes.
Oh, it does start in space at the second Death Star.
Oh,
there's that scene of the Emperor. Yeah, I totally forgot about that. Yeah.
So it always starts in space and then pans to something and then cuts to whatever's happening.
Right.
So I can see it starting in space and then panning.
Yeah, where the Lambda
Acto.
Shuttle comes out the bottom and then
Yeah.
flies towards the second
So I
Death
can
Star.
see again starting in space, maybe panning over to Acto and then going down and then cutting to what's happening with them, maybe. But I don't know. I thought that was a cool rumor for episode 8 that Leia actually gets to show off some Force skills other than just feeling sad.
Oh, Revenge of the Sith starts with that low orbit battle. It's like this gigantic Separatist and Republic battle over Coruscant.
Okay,
I think it was Coruscant, right? Yeah, it was Coruscant.
Yeah, I remember that now.
With all the stupid buzz droids and all that crap. Remember that?
All the really bad spaceships, yeah.
There was a really cool shot in that where it you're kind of tight on the fighters, and then there's a way that they reveal this battle is just gigantic.
Giant, yeah.
And
It's
there's
not just the couple ships that you saw. Yeah.
Right. That was kind of cool.
I really need to rewatch.
Revenge of the Sith actually was a fairly good movie.
I liked Revenge of the Sith. Clone Wars is the one that, or
as far as the prequels goes, it's the best.
Attack of the Clones is the one that hurts me to watch.
Yeah.
Not just as a Star Wars film, but as a film in general.
The opening of Attack of the Clones, when I was in theaters, I got chills because I thought that was kind of cool. With her ship, the Queen's ship, remember?
I
Just
mean,
the sound of it, that was really cool, and the look of it was cool.
Yeah, episode 1 was super cool until you realize afterwards when you grew up that it was like, oh, Jar Jar was an ass.
Yes, it was.
Why?
That's not anything new.
No.
It's not like an unpopular
I never liked him
opinion.
when I was a kid either. It's not like, oh, Jar Jar. Then I got older and was like, oh, Jar Jar. No, I never enjoyed Jar Jar, but I didn't really realize the magnitude of his disgrace until my aged wisdom sank in.
I used to think Watto was the coolest character.
The
I don't know
the
why.
fat lump that flies around.
Yeah, I don't know why.
The racist.
And, rewatching it, Qui-Gon Jinn is a dick.
Oh, yeah, he is.
Man.
The
The
they're
cheating
all-
with the dice?
Yeah, they're all pretty.
Man, dude.
There's not a lot of great things in episode 1.
It was cool to see a bunch of Jedi be complete badasses on the Trade Federation ship. And that whole opening
Oh yeah,
sequence.
that opening scene was cool because Jedis were doing something.
Yeah. Cutting through the door and all that crap.
Yeah,
That was cool.
it was cool.
Anyway.
Reminiscing.
Star Wars movies.
Star Wars.
Yeah, it's completely unrelated.
Yeah, okay.
Somebody today was trying to say that Porkins was the one who was saying... No, sorry. That someone was talking to Porkins saying,
Who
stay...
was saying this?
This is somebody.
Somebody.
I won't say any names or anything.
Okay. So if I wanted to, I could physically beat this person because I might know them?
No.
Okay, never mind. All right. So I can't physically beat this person.
Somebody was trying to say that someone was talking to Porkins saying, stay on target. Like that was directed at Porkins. Stay on target.
No.
No, it's not.
No, that's no.
No, it's not.
No.
Because
It's
Porkins
not.
dies before that.
Yeah, he does.
Way before that.
Yeah.
He impacts on the surface. Even though that's a later thing. But yeah. It's the guy.
Yeah.
He's got his little targeting computer
Yeah,
out.
he's the guy that's actually going. Like he's the first person. that
Vader's
tries
pulling
to,
up behind him in his
Yeah.
TIE fighter.
It's the first guy that tries to shoot the proton torpedoes into the exhaust port.
No, not the first guy.
What? That?
They get the first shot off, and then they're coming around for the second
it's the
pass.
second- it's the
Vader
second
kills
pass.
this guy, and then Luke goes in.
But yeah, I mean, he's before Luke gets the winning shot. He's the one that's looking in his little viewer. Just
Right.
Stay on target.
Right.
I can't shake him. Stay on
Coming in
target.
too fast. Stay
that
on
guy.
target. Was he wasn't a Y-wing guy, right? That was saying stay on target.
It's a good question.
I know the guy taking the shot was in an X-wing. He was part of Red Squadron.
Yes.
I can't remember if that guy saying stay on target was in a Y-wing.
I don't remember, honestly.
To YouTube.
Someone tell us. So moving on to the next Star Wars movie, Rogue One. So this is, light rumors for this, but apparently Kyber crystals are going to be making an appearance
In Rogue One?
In Rogue One.
Interesting.
So, of course, it's confirmed in new canon that the Death Star laser was powered by Kyber crystals.
Nice.
So that's in the new canon. The
I
current canon.
stand corrected. It was a Y-wing taking the shot.
It was a Y-wing?
Yeah.
Well, there you go. So,
And Red Squadron, the guy in Red Squadron was the one saying stay on target,
okay. That makes sense.
I think.
So,
Maybe he
in
was
current
also in
Star
Y-wing.
Wars canon, it's confirmed in the current canon that the Death Star laser was powered by Kyber crystals.
Maybe they were both in Y-wings. I don't know. I don't care anymore.
Spaceships!
Anyway, Kyber crystals.
Death Star, laser, Kyber crystals. Said it 5 times, moving on.
Wait,
So-
Death Star laser Kyber crystals?
The
What
Death
is-
Star laser was supposedly powered by Kyber crystals.
Really?
So that's supposedly in the new canon, yes. I cannot tell you where it's from, but
Well, I guess
it's
we'll
in
find
the
out pretty
canon
soon.
that maybe it was in. Was it in? It couldn't have been in Tarkin. So I would remember that.
Kyber crystals?
Them talking about building the Death Star. I don't think I remember that.
They talked about building the Death Star, but they didn't mention Kyber crystals.
Yeah, so Kyber crystals are used and mentioned in the new canon, and of course we know from the Clone Wars TV show and even Rebels that Kyber crystals are in the canon at least still, because Ezra got his to make his lightsaber, and in the Clone Wars they got theirs to make lightsabers. Anyways, so this is coming from Making Star Wars. They have their sources that they don't name. Just kind of quoting them, is they said, "We don't know how much the Kyber crystals will play into Rogue One, but what we do know is interesting. There are crates. They say the crates themselves are called Kyber crystal crates on set. So there's crates on set that are referred to as Kyber crystal crates. Say that really fast. The crystals, don't do it. I saw you. Don't do it. The crystals are being taken or mined from a mountain where they are placed into crates. There's a communication platform there on the side of the mountain where Imperial scientists reside. Death Squad troopers are also on location for the sequence. On set, there were a lot of crates. We may have seen these crates in drone photos, but we aren't certain yet. We speculate that the crystals are being mined for synthesis by the scientists. The Death Troopers are there to protect the valuable crystals. Perhaps the Empire has had some problems with getting that crystal to focus properly. Is the mountain simply a mine or a secret research facility? It's all pretty fascinating. Anyways.
Interesting.
So supposedly there are crates on set that are referred to as Kyber crystal crates from the sources that Making Star Wars has. And they're being mined or either at a research facility, or most likely this is having directly to do with the Death Star plans and the Death Star being built and them using these Kyber crystals in the functions that are used in the Death Star. So it's interesting to get that we may get a little more backstory on, other than just having the Rogue One of them trying to go get the plans to the Death Star. We may get some more backstory into the actual building of the Death Star and the functions of it and how it runs.
That's really exciting to bring in a reference like that into a major movie. Yeah. Because that's a pretty deep cut.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, it was in Clone Wars, but still.
They're always just mentioned for making lightsabers and stuff, but, they were used to focus and power a laser for the Death Star.
Right. Not only does that, it kind of, I don't know, brings in that whole lore of what we had before of the Emperor being into old, Jedi and Sith history.
Yeah.
Kind of brings that in a little bit because Kyber crystals have been around for a while.
Yeah, they have. So it's nice for them to if they're going to not only be named in a major motion picture and someone's actually going to say Kyber crystal, like it's an actual thing. It's not just written down in our visual dictionaries.
Our little books.
Our little notebooks. So that's really cool. And I guess I never really thought about that with the fact that Rogue One is coming out, that it's all about them going to get the Death Star plans. But they're going to get the Death Star plans because the Death Star is being built. So we're probably, and even from the trailer, they show like the big dish array, or not the array, the laser array being like sat into the Death Star.
Yeah.
I never really considered that we're probably going to get some actual knowledge and history and like making of information on the Death Star as well. Like maybe even seeing a little more than we've ever seen before as far as talking about Kyber crystals and what they're being used for on the Death Star and how some things work, which the only time we really got that was in the Tarkin book.
Right.
Otherwise.
That's really cool.
So
that's exciting.
I think that's really interesting.
Yeah. I can't wait for that movie. It's going to be...
I'm iffy on it. It looks interesting, but I'm just a little wary because it's not a trilogy film and it doesn't, I don't know, it's a one-off, so you really don't know, there's nothing before or after it. I mean, it's a one-off quote, but it still has the history of Star Wars surrounding it because it's an important thing that happened for the trilogy films. But at the same time, I'm excited
because of that, though. That it's not a tentpole movie. It's this side thing that is going to bring in like this kind of stuff, Kyber crystal kind of stuff.
I'm worried about them trying to shoe in too much Star Wars and not just let it be in the universe.
Yes, true.
That's what I'm worried about. Is it like, oh, look, there's more AT-ATs or AT-ACTs and some Death Squad troopers and some Shore troopers and a Sloppy Joe trooper and we got troopers over here and over there. Like, I don't want them to just like shoehorn in new canon and new Star Wars things just so we can find out about them. And yes, I said Sloppy Joe trooper.
What does Sloppy Joe trooper look like? His armor comes up halfway.
So Meatwad?
Yes.
So his armor is just going to look like Meatwad, like the same texture.
Okay.
It's just his armor is going to look like that.
Okay.
Red, like that.
And it only comes up to like the top of his stomach, and his stomach just hangs
He has
out?
a gut. So there's just the breastplate, but like nothing covering his stomach. It's just the large Sloppy Joe stomach splattered with Sloppy Joe.
We've got troopers on clearance. We got troopers here. We got troopers there. We got damaged troopers. We got scratch and dent troopers. We got so many troopers. We don't know what to do with them. Oh boy.
Come on down to Crazy Tarkin's. I want to see a Tarkin doing that. I feel like that whole thing is a Robot Chicken sketch.
Crazy Tarkin really helped me out with his trooper deals. They were great. They were 50% off or more. Come to Crazy Tarkin's.
My
for
old trooper
deals.
started shooting things properly, and what was I going to do with such a trooper that did not function right? I went
Luckily,
down
Crazy
to
Tarkin.
Crazy Tarkin's, and boy, did I get a deal. My new trooper can't hit anything. My house and family are safe. Thank you, Crazy Tarkin. Whoa! It just goes back into the commercial.
His head spins around.
Thanks, Boring Ted. That's the guy's name. Just
Can I have my check now?
after the commercial's over.
Back there, boring Ted.
Okay. That's about all the Star Wars things that have happened anytime recently. I have nothing else Star Warsy to talk about. I guess some things have been happening with the launch bay and the Star Wars things at Disney. Obviously, they're continuing to work on them. A cool little thing they talked about. I guess they're testing currently. I think they may just be testing it in California. But we've talked about it before, where they have the Jawas that kind of walk around and be all Jawas, and they're trying to trade stuff with you, and they shake those
Jawas just walking around being Jawas.
those wacky Jawas. Apparently, they're going to start having like some random like droids rolling around and beeping and bopping and booping.
Yep. You can
just-
beep and bop at them, and they'll boop and boop back.
Yep. So there's going to be some more interactivity in the Star Wars areas, which is always fun.
That's cool.
I'm excited about that. I was telling Michael earlier this week, for any of those that have ever been to Epcot, and I don't know if they did this in California, but they used to have a trash can at Epcot that was a robot.
Yeah.
That rolled around and talked to people.
Yeah.
So there was like always a guy that was dressed up like a tourist, like just sitting on a bench somewhere. But he had like a really big bag, with him that was sitting beside him, and he had like his hand inside the bag where the controller and remote was, and he had a very small like hidden microphone right by his mouth. So he would just sit there and just like roll the trash can around talking to people, and just no one knew who was controlling it where. It kind of feels like the same thing. And that was always a huge attraction at Epcot. People loved it. It was hilarious. As long as you have the right person doing it, it's really funny.
Then they
So
got
if it's
rid of
not
it.
just like protocol, if it's not just like, mouse droids or something, going around just beeping at you, if there's actual like protocol droids or like even like a bigger droid just that can talk to you and
Yeah.
say stuff
That would
and
be really cool.
be funny, that would be interesting.
That's like, I don't know if you remember at Universal, they have this talking fountain.
Oh, the fountain outside of Poseidon's.
Yeah.
Whatever.
The Sinbad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they've got somebody
Magic
somewhere
fountain that talks to you and makes fun of you.
that squirts you in the face and
Yeah.
does all that. Yeah.
Those are fun things. I think that'll be cool to see at the Star Wars area in the launch bay.
Yeah.
Which I need to go back and see again because it's awesome.
Yes.
And I want my picture with Kylo Ren like I'm a 5-year-old child.
The stormtroopers keep walking around. I saw Phasma and
Really?
2 stormtroopers walking around the other day. Yep.
They have a Phasma walking around?
Mhm.
She doesn't have a photo area, though, does she?
Yes, and I think it's the like special card members area in the launch
Huh?
bay. Yeah.
Special card members.
Yeah, there's like a special, like if you have a special credit card, you can go and
What?
yeah, I don't know.
I want a picture with Phasma.
It may
wanted
have
to-
been just the
I want her to
Phasma.
hold me. Is that
Hold
so
me in-
wrong?
Hold me in your strong
I just want
arms.
her to cradle me.
Just cradle me in your strong arms, Phasma.
Well, yes, exactly that.
It's not Brienne from Tarth or whatever her name is.
Hi, I'm Brienne from Tarth. It's Brienne of Tarth, not from Tarth. I guess it's the same thing.
I don't
but
watch the Thrones game, so I don't know.
those throne games. I don't care if it's her or not. It's a big, strong lady, and I want her to hold me. Is that so wrong?
What are we doing? What are we doing?
I'm going to stop talking before I say anything else incriminating, though I think I've said enough.
I think it might have been just the Phasma that's in the show, the show that they do
The dancing show?
Where they have
the music show they have on stage.
Where they have characters just come out and stand there pretty much and then walk away. That's pretty much it.
The Star Wars runway show.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah. I guess I don't know if that's was announced. I don't know if we've talked about it at all, but for those that enjoy the Star Wars areas, especially at Hollywood Studios in Orlando, they're right now they have a Star Wars show at the end of the day. It's just the music plays along with fireworks. They're adding like a projection show to that with like a stage show and like fire shooting out of the tops of buildings and stuff.
Sweet.
So there's going to be a full end of the day Star Wars show, not just music and fireworks, but other stuff added onto it. That's supposed to start at the end of summer.
Sweet.
Or midsummer.
All right.
When it happens, I'm going to go and it will be awesome. And
I know.
Maybe I will tweet or take videos of it for the Twitter.
Yeah, maybe. I know the stage show I'm talking about, there's a part where Kylo does something and fire comes out of the ground.
Really?
And either Kylo or Vader uses the Force, and this like compressed air cannons shoot at the
crowd.
The audience. Yeah. Oh.
You've just been dropping stuff this entire podcast.
Yeah, at least it's at the end.
That's no one's made it this far.
Everyone's gone
You'd
by
be
now.
a fool. If you made it through Crazy Tarkin, then
everyone's sloppy Joe Trooper.
Lord bless you.
Everyone's gone by now.
Yeah, everyone's gone.
I could just bang this on the mic for the rest of the...
Please don't bang the mic in any ways with anything. The only last note I had, which I thought was really cool, and it has nothing to do with Star Wars except for the one of the stars of Star Wars, John Boyega. So apparently, not apparently, he was announced as the star of the upcoming Pacific Rim 2, which is awesome.
Yes, I saw that.
But he also is leveraging his position as such a star to co-produce Pacific Rim 2 with his own production company.
He has a production company?
He started a production company with one of his buddies. I don't know what they've done. Probably little things.
After Star Wars,
but because
I
they may have had it before because he's been acting for a while, and he actually has friends that are bigger in the scene. I think in England maybe.
Okay.
Than he has been maybe, but so he leveraged his stardom that if they wanted him to be in Pacific Rim 2, he wanted to co-produce as well with his production company. So he's getting his name out there as well as his production company's name out there. So it's a really great business decision.
That's crazy.
Which is awesome. But it's awesome
Unless
to see
the movie
somebody.
sucks.
Well, Pacific Rim 2 could suck, but it's awesome to see that a guy that he's been in good movies. I mean, Attack the Block was amazing. He's coming up in other movies that look really good.
Yeah.
But it's nice to see one of these like new guys, new to Star Wars. People know him. They know he's a good actor, but it's nice to see him taking his Star Wars money and fame and using it to, I don't know,
do other cool things.
To do other cool stuff,
yeah.
And produce and like better his business and him as an actor, and not just having the money and doing nothing else and just being in Star Wars.
Sure.
I think it's cool to see him take that and kind of run with it.
Yeah.
And not just be the Star Wars guy that was the main character and whatever.
Yeah, that's cool to see.
I think, I mean, if anyone's seen him in other stuff,
he was in the new 24. The miniseries they did in London.
I never did watch that one.
Me neither. I've been meaning to, but I haven't watched it yet.
That makes sense.
That's interesting.
Huh.
Yeah, and Attack the Block was in 2011. That was like one of the first things he did.
Yeah.
He was in Becoming Human, which is a British TV show.
Yeah. I mean, if you've seen him in other stuff other than Star Wars, he's a fantastic actor.
Yeah.
I'm just glad that he's continuing to do other stuff and not just getting stuck in Star Wars and being like, all right, I'm set.
Right.
Which, I mean, if you're in Star Wars, you're set at this point. And I know he got paid. I think he got, he and the other two, like Daisy Ridley and Oscar Isaac, they all got the lowest paychecks, but compared to regular paychecks anywhere else, it's a good paycheck.
Probably.
So it's nice to see him do something with that, and I'm excited to see him in more stuff that isn't weird one-off British things, TV shows, or bad 24 miniseries.
Or good. It could have been good. We don't know.
I heard it was bad.
Don't say that.
If you haven't seen Attack the Block, obviously it was in 2011, so he was much younger, but he is fantastic in it, and Attack the Block it's
a great movie.
Probably one of my top 10 movies. It's just one of those that I'll turn on and just put it on in the background to watch all the time.
It's really good.
Definitely watch it if you have not, because it's amazing, and it's also...
And not just because John Boyega's in it.
No, was it also directed by Edgar Wright or produced by Edgar Wright?
He was involved somehow.
He was involved. I don't think he directed it.
Nick Frost was in it.
He might have produced it, and Nick Frost was in it. So, yeah. Lots of good people were involved in the making of that film. Watch it also. That's all I got. We got nothing else. We've gone for about an hour. You've put up with our BS. For those that may have watched the Periscope on this for all of 5 seconds, thank you. In the future, we're probably going to try to get YouTube streaming working, and we may stream the full episode on YouTube while we record it. That way I don't have to also upload the audio version to YouTube. I can just let the stream save onto YouTube, and you can watch it from there. Less work on my side, yay. So, yeah, that's it. I got nothing else. Please hit us up on Twitter, as always, at Hokey_religion. Shoot us an email, hokeyreligion.pod@gmail.com.
Remember, we do Ask Lobot every once in a while. We're not going to do that every episode, but we'll do it.
We plan to do it every once in a while, but we require
while.
people asking us questions. And we will accept serious questions, but if you have any really stupid questions or really convoluted questions or really dumb questions or really just whatever questions, ask us.
Let's put it this way.
Make up
any questions.
If you have questions about life, the hows and whys of puberty, we'll come up with an answer for it.
What is puberty?
Why is puberty? When is puberty?
Where?
How is puberty?
Where is puberty?
Oh, down there. Yeah, send us questions, not just puberty related. As heavily as we touched on that subject, please diversify your questions.
It's the only example that we gave.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Continue to ask questions.
Yeah, hit us up on Twitter, shoot us an email.
Do we do anything else? There's stuff on YouTube, but nobody watches it.
Yeah, like I said, we're probably going to start live streaming possibly on YouTube, and then you can watch it there instead of just listening to the audio version on YouTube, which would be cool. And that's all I've got.
We were people born in the 80s still trying to figure out technology.
How does internet? All right, this is Hokey Religion. This is Tyler.
This is Michael.
Goodbye.
Hokey religion is an ancient weapon. Weapons are no match for a good blaster at your side.
How's all the doodle bobs and the tweak bangers?
They're all tweaked and ready to doodle.
All the nublins have been twerked.
All the beebles have been bobbled.
All the dang doodles.
All the dangles are dingly.